How everybody doing today, man? This is Brothers to Brothers podcast. I'm your host, TK.
And your boy Rio.
And we got a topic today that's real serious. It's a real topic. And the topic is how do one cope with the passing of a loved one? We got somebody special on the line today, Henry Kelly.
What's up, brothers to brothers?
And my boy Jermaine on the line. What's up, Jermaine?
What's good, my people?
And yeah, we're gonna get right to it, man. Rio, I think you should start this conversation real quick.
All right. So, like I said, the question was how does one cope with losing a loved one, right?
Yeah.
Now I can, of course, we all don't have the same experiences of losing loved ones, but like I said, if you've been watching the show, been tuning in, you kind of know who I lean on, who I rest in. And not saying it's always easy, but that's one of my biggest mechanisms of coping with losing loved ones is just following in Christ, following in God, because it does get hard. And also being able to communicate with others. Like, I think it's healthy to find people that have dealt with the same thing that you're dealing with, because they may have been through the stages already of what comes with losing loved ones, especially one that's near and dear to your heart. And I think that also can help you kind of learn how to deal with and how to move through everyday life, because that'd be the toughest thing, because once after everything is said and done, and I feel like the funerals and things go by and people checking in on you constantly and things like that, but once the days go by, it's kind of just you and whoever else is really affected by it, whether it be your kids and things like that. I think it's just, and I think getting around people that have been through similar situations, maybe, or just even people that kind of know how to deal with things like that and have those conversations and being able to vent and have someone to talk to. Like, I think that helps out a lot, because like I said, I went through losing a father-in-law that was near and dear to me. I had, like I said, I've been my wife. We've been together since 10th grade, so he met me when I was a kid. Like I said, I was a 15-year-old kid, and he met me. So losing him was hard to me. He was like my second father for real. I had been knowing him forever. So when I lost him, I had to talk to other people that had went through dealing with losing fathers and things like that. So, but I think, like I said, my biggest thing is how I cope is making sure I continue to trust in God and understand I don't know the reasons why whatever may be going on or why things may happen, but fighting that flesh with that spirit, because one's going to take control, and you got to make sure you want that spirit to take control, because if you let the flesh take control, in the midst of you asking why, you'll start saying it leads you to hating God and going backsliding and things like that, and heck, not only just hating God, but lashing out on others around you that you could potentially push away, that really can be there for you. So that's my biggest thing on coping, is just trusting God and finding some people, some ones to talk to and vent and get it off your chest, and don't just harbor things in.
All right. And before we get to Henry, this podcast episode is dedicated to Henry, because Henry just lost somebody that's deep to his heart, not too long ago, which was his wife. And you also lost your uncle, right, Henry?
I lost my uncle at the beginning of the year last year, and I lost my wife at the end of the year, and we just lost our cousin, Antonio McDusty.
Just lost your cousin, and all in 1 year. So
basically, yeah.
Yeah, all in 1 year, basically. And how have you been able to deal with the losses of all those individuals?
Man, you get, so let's just be honest, man. When you lose your family, man, you lose friends, man, you lose certain people, man, it has an effect on you. It does, but you kind of get used to shaking it off, because it's family, it's friends, or I've never lost anybody other than Ken, that was just close to me. But the passing of my wife is one of the most devastating things that I think anybody can go through. And like Rio said earlier, everybody grieves different, man. So for me, this is the person that I laid in the bed with. This is the person that when I got in the car, I wanted to get in the car with me. This is the person that when the world felt goofy to me or silly to me and backed me into a corner, I sat down and I talked to, and she brought me through the darkness. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is that person for me. This is, as the young guys would say, this twin here.
Right.
And man, it is hard, man. Like, I don't think, and because our age demographic, man, I'm the first one, I think, out of really everybody in our age, man, to ever lose a spouse. So when it comes also what Rio said, you know, finding somebody to talk to, I'm the first.
Right.
And I feel like I'm not the most religious person, as y'all know me. Y'all know I'm not going to speak too heavily on it, but I do feel like I was chosen because I felt like I'm built to handle it. It's devastating, y'all. My message to us as men, the husbands, we never think about this part of the marriage. Like, I made a post on Facebook one time. What do you do when two becomes one? We never think about that. We never think about it. We do our thing and we go through life and we're excited and you know, everybody loves to say that they're married and all of these things, but we never think about what if that person is no longer there. And I had to deal with that, man. And it's difficult, y'all. For the men, us, with families, kids, and you guys that are preparing, you know what I'm saying? You guys, we got to get better at preparing our families, man, with life insurance policy. I had a life insurance policy. I started a new job, but the life insurance policy wasn't ready yet. So I didn't get the life insurance policy. So that was one of the things that stopped me from properly grieving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to go back to work. Like, I couldn't just sit around, man. And I didn't realize how huge that was until I had to do it. So, men, lead your families. Go get life insurance policy. You guys have these talks with your wives, man. To the husband with kids, man. It sounds crazy, man. Find out where this stuff is at, man. I don't even know my marriage license, did y'all?
Right.
She know where it's at, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man. I ain't.
Right.
We didn't put it up. You know, she just kept it in certain places. I had to find birth certificates. I had to find Social Security cards. Like, just things that we don't think about because it's just something we don't think about, man. Like, you know, a lot of this stuff, man, we let our wives handle. My wife handled all that stuff, man. I'm gonna tell you another thing that was crazy for me, man. It's funny. I didn't pay the bills. I gave her the money and she paid the bills. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, these are all new things, and these are things, it seemed like nothing. You say, oh, well, just go pay the bill. But it's hard to pay the bill when you devastated, bro. It's hard. Like, you ain't thinking about that, especially when you was never doing it. Learning what my son loved to eat. Learning how to cook certain things, man. And then another thing I tell you guys, man, the other thing your friends, the world don't care. I'm calling the Social Security office. Folks don't care, man. Folks don't care that your wife just died. They done heard this story 1,000 times.
Right.
You better hope you get somebody that, you know, got some remorse for you, because these people don't care, man. They'll put you on hold 2-3 hours. They're supposed to tell you to call them back in 2 weeks. Like, it's just things that I never thought that I would have had to go through, man. And it is very, very difficult. So,
yeah, man. Well, that's understandable. And like I said, I can't even sit here and act like I know what you're going through, because I know it's a personal and deep journey for somebody who's lost a loved one. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that I can say is to that is, you know, like we all know, it ain't no one size fit all type of approach, but
yeah,
it's always important to acknowledge, you know, like your grief and allowing yourself to feel like, you know, like a different range of emotions or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Not telling you not to, because you're supposed to feel that. You're supposed to let that stuff out. You know, you can't keep it in, or that's when depression seeps in. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the enemy
Yeah.
wants. He wants you to be depressed off that the whole time. And I understand. I just heard you say that you ain't, real religious or whatever, but it ain't even about religion. You know what I'm saying? It's about a higher power that keeps you moving every day. And maybe things happen so you can seek him, so you can seek him more now. You know what I'm saying? So always, man, just seek support, man, and prioritize your self-care, bro. Because if you let yourself get away mind-wise, body and soul or whatever, just thinking about all this stuff, man, you gonna fade away, bro. So the best thing to do is just prioritize your self-care, bro. Whatever you're doing right now, it's obvious, it's working, because, most people would have just went into a hole and you won't even hear from them for a whole year. But you still out here and you're balling, bro. You kicking it with us, man. You talking to us. You know what I'm saying? You on the phone with your boy Jermaine all the time. You put us on game, bro, because we wouldn't know if something like this happened to one of us. We wouldn't know. Only thing we know to do is to kick back and rely on Jesus Christ, bro. That's just us. That's what we know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm glad
I'm
glad you shared this, and I'm glad we was able to talk about this anyway. And Jermaine, what you got, bro?
Yeah, I ain't got nothing, man, on the subject, man. You never said it best. We already talked about it numerous times. Just, make sure you got everything in order. Have that conversation.
Yeah.
That was big, though.
And just another coping mechanism is like establishing a routine of everyday things that you do that can help you keep your mind off a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
I would definitely say that, like, the information you just gave was very helpful. Like Tim saying, like, most of us, that are close to God, that's what of course we know to lean on him. But like you said, I'm kind of like you, Henry. Like, I don't, like, far as bills, I'm kind of like you. I get my wife money. Look, what you need this on. I think the most thing I probably do go pay is like the water bill, and the kids' child care. But other than that, it's kind of like her. So I just give it. I'm like you. I don't know where to go pay this stuff at. I don't know how to go do that.
Man.
And I don't think you alone. I think it's a lot of men I done talked to that kind of like their wives are the ones that's kind of over that stuff, because they're more, women are just more technical, man. And I think us men,
you just allow your wife to handle it, man. And I'm gonna tell you what's crazy, man. It's so lucky that I knew the password to her phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't think about stuff like that when we locking our phones up. Not saying I'm no secretive stuff or nothing like that, but most people just got a general lock on your phone.
Right.
Man, just luckily I knew a password, man. That's where all the bills, that's how everything was paid. So, like I say, it's like I say, I just when I try to spread the word about grieving and being the husband I'm a widow now, bro. I'm a widower.
Right.
And it's so much deeper than just being able to give somebody the money and they handle the business, or just it's so much more when that person is not there, bro. Like, this woman ain't there, bro. I have to do this. Like, I ain't got no choice. Like, it ain't gonna let you make it.
You're right.
So I definitely challenge any of y'all, man. Any husband, any longtime boyfriend, anybody that's in a relationship, man. Take control more than just giving your money, bro. Like, you're gonna have to, man. You don't want to have to figure it out on the fly, bro. I had to figure this out on the fly. That's what I'm saying. I had nobody to talk to. And people say, yeah, reach out to me. And let me say this before, bro. Let me get this off my chest, man. To me, the worst thing you can tell somebody that lost somebody is call me if you need me. And it's such a cliche line that we say it so much. But if I don't talk to you like that, Tim,
right,
what make you think I'm gonna call you in the worst time of my life?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right, bro.
If you love me, if you care for me, this is the time that I need you to reach out to me. This is the time where, I may be a little on edge about whatever, and I need you to be able to eat that if you love me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to understand Henry a little snappy today, so let me leave him alone, but I'm still gonna check on my boy tomorrow or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We get so caught up in saying that, man. Like I that was one of the worst things that I heard over and over. Man, you need something, man. You know I got you, man. Just give me a call. I ain't talked to you since high school. What make you think I'm a call? Like I appreciate the love. I do. I really do. But call me, brother. I need you to call me. I'm lost.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
Yeah, you're right. And that was and I don't think nobody was expecting to hear that, because man, everybody, that's the number one line. You said that.
Yeah.
They always talking about call me if you need something. But you got my number.
Yeah, but you got my number. This is the only time I'm hearing from you. Yeah, man. That's real right there. That's real.
And bro,
I like you hear that. You gonna hear that in my situation, man. You gonna hear that 100 times, man. Like by about the 25th time, bro, I kind of don't want to hear that no more, bro. Because I know I'm not gonna talk to you. You're not gonna talk to me no more. Yeah. Appreciate the love and support, but I need somebody that's gonna reach out to me.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, bro. Man, I'm gonna leave you with a scripture, bro. Psalms 34:18, and it says, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted, and save those who are crushed in spirit." So I'm gonna leave you with that, and hopefully you take that in. And and like I said, bro, we don't feel you because it hasn't happened to us, but we mourn for you. You feel me? Because we know what kind of person you is, bro. Yeah. And we can't just say we can't say, oh, he don't deserve that. Because in our minds as human, we're like, he don't deserve it. But it's something that we shouldn't say, because only God knows what you deserve. You know what I'm saying? And,
yeah.
And that's the thing, bro. It happened to a strong one. So we know who you is, bro. We've been around you. We've been knowing you for a long time. So
yeah, definitely. I want to leave with this too. For like I said earlier, man, for you to get on here and be vulnerable like this, to just tell your story while also giving information out. Like, it could have been easy for you to come on here and give your story and just say, man, I'm done. Like that. Like, that is what it is, and not give like positive feedback on how to handle these things and what people should be doing now before it happens to them. So I commend you on that, man, because like I said, you right. I think my wife may have talked about this probably once or twice about if something was to happen, but it ain't like no deep conversation, because that like those are what we call hard talks. Like, it's hard talking to your spouse about if something happened to one of us, like and knowing that we depend on each other. So I highly commend you, man. Like Henry just said, we know who you are, man. We know how strong you are, and it's showing right now. Even when Tim said earlier about the first step is like knowing that you're going through something. Like, we heard you say that plenty of times in your speech. You're like, it's been hard. It's hard. So you know that it's hard, but you also know that I can't quit. Like, I gotta keep moving, gotta keep going. And like I said, I commend you again on that, because man, that's big. Because we also know, I'm sure we know other people that just faded away. Like, they gave up on life. They gave up on things. Heck, that's why even people we probably don't know, but just in the word in general, suicide is so high, because people are going through things and they're giving up. And it's big for you to sit here and, like I said again, be vulnerable with your story, tell your story, talk about your experience, while also giving input on how someone else can deal with it if they're faced with it. So man, I thank you for that a lot, my brother, because like I said, we are young men that's married up here as well, and you really just gave us some gems to take with us.
Oh, most definitely.
Sure, bro.
It's about that time in this show. Make sure you all like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you like what you've been hearing today and you like our content, make sure you hit that notification bell. Next time we put out content, it'll come right to you. We enjoyed you today. This is all we got for today. Appreciate you. Peace and love. We out. Peace.